Mr. President, once again, Senator Shehu Sani, Kaduna Central. I have with me here a report from the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debt. It is a very short report, but carries a very heavy weight of a recommendation for an approval. And I will move to page 4, the findings and the observations. 1, that the terms and conditions of the loan are favorable and do not pose any compromise to the integrity, independence, and interests of Nigeria and its citizens. That the projects are essential for rapid economic and social development of Nigeria. That the projects, when completed, will create jobs through a chain of downstream economic activities. The construction of the second runway in the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport will enhance the safety of the air passengers, increase the use of the airport by international airlines, thus increase the revenue base of the government. That the rail projects, when completed, will reduce the use of roads, its attendant congestion, and thus minimize the cost of road maintenance. The Mambila Hydro Power Project, which had long been abandoned, when completed, will add substantially to the national grid, thus improve on power output of the country. That the projects will improve federal government revenue. At the US $3 billion to refinancing of the nation's domestic debts will not lead to an increase in the public debt portfolio. However, it will reduce the cost of the debt. Agrees that the proposed refinancing of the nation's domestic debt stock with this relatively cheaper and long term. The refinancing with external loan will create a significant decrease in the cost of financing the nation's debt stock, while creating more borrowing space in the domestic market for the private sector to benefit from. The committee also observed that substituting high-interest, short-term domestic debt with less expensive, long-term external debt will reduce the current high debt servicing and revenue ratio. And the recommendations are as follows. A, the committee do recommend for approval by the Senate the issuance of US $2.5 billion to finance the following projects in 2017 Appropriation Act. 1, Mambila Hydro Power Project. 2, construction of a second runway at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. 3, counterpart funding for the rail projects. And 4, construction of Bodo Boni Road with a bridge across the Opobo Channel. B, that the Senate do approve the US $3 billion for refinancing of the nation's domestic debts. C, that the Senate do emphasize the effective oversight of the proposed budgets. And in conclusion, I have this. The committee expressed its gratitude to the leadership of the Senate and the entire members of the Senate for the confidence bestowed on it to do its work relatively and efficiently. These projects, when fully implemented, are sure to stimulate economic development and create both direct and indirect jobs for Nigerians, particularly the teeming Nigerian youth. We therefore move that the Senate do approve the issuance of US $2.5 billion to finance the 2017 Appropriation Act and the sum of $3 billion for the refinancing of the nation's domestic debt, totaling $5.5 billion. We so move.